Hi, George Fasching here, helping you unlock your team's genius. In this video, I'm focusing on gold plating or over-engineering of product backlog items that the team is working on delivering together in their planning iteration. A very important subject, helping you to improve the pace overall at which you are able to solve for customers and user needs. And with it being so important, I'm doing a double whammy on this one. So normally Power 3 series is 3 tips in 3 minutes. And we're starting with the first one now. So the first tip to help you combat gold plating is to have an open conversation in your team on the topic of the 80-20 rule or Pareto's principle. Pareto's principle suggests that we actually only need to invest about 20% of the effort in order to return 80% of the value, suggesting that on the inverse, if we delved into the remaining 80% of effort, we would actually only then add an extra 20% of value if we pursued that completely. So I think this is a good thinking tool to explore together with the team and see how that resonates with them as it comes to the level of fidelity and quality that you are delivering your product features in. And with that being a team conversation that you have up front, it's also then a good reminder point that you can go back to with the team. The next suggestion and tip that I have for you in order to refrain from gold plating and over engineering as a team is to make active use of your definition of ready as well as your definition of done. For the definition of ready, you want to have backlog items ready, but that also has a level of fidelity in there that needs to be deduced very carefully, and there's a video available on that as well. When it comes to then the actual delivery of items through the planning iteration, you need to refer to the definition of done. There's also available video available in the series. So by active use of the definition of ready throughout the sprint, where you are very clear on the level of fidelity and the level of polish that you have agreed on together amongst team and product owner, that is another key tool to ensure that you're only developing things across the entire team to the agreed level and not any further. And last but not least, there is the consideration around making the level of fidelity and quality that you're developing to congruent with the position of the product in your product lifecycle. And that then also would be reflected in a definition of ready and your definition of done. So there is this way of looking at it, that for products very early on in the lifecycle, when you're perhaps even still addressing product market fit, the level of fidelity can be really, really low because all you need to do is testing assumptions, whereas when you have a more established product, it needs to be somewhat higher, but not too high. So having the level of fidelity understood over the course of the life cycle and having that an active conversation with the team is a key point in that. The extreme way of looking at this is actually to say everything is an MVP. Everything that you touch, regardless of where it is on the product life cycle, just to at least have as a thinking tool is you always develop to the lowest level necessary in order to achieve the outcome that you want to achieve. Everything is an MVP, so to speak. And with that, we have reached the end of our time box for this video. As I said, this is going to be a double whammy. There will be a second one. I'm sharing 3 more things on gold plating, so you can choose whichever works best for your context, or all of them if you like. And coming again in the Power 3 series. Thank you very much for your time. If you have any thoughts or comments on this video or questions, please share them down below. If you found something useful in this, please like, share and subscribe. And until the next video, all the best for the practice with your team. Thank you very much. Bye bye.